Welcome everyone in Nigeria and the rest of the world. This is State of the Nation. I am Gimba Umar. Behind me, data feeds are still coming through on all our social media platforms in one place. Simultaneously be part of the show, tweet at Gimba Umar CTV and use the hashtag State of the Nation to air your thoughts. How is Nigeria going to meet budget targets with the current cut in crude oil production by OPEC? That seems to be the question in the minds of many. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Dr. Ibe Kachuku, has said that the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, and non-OPEC allies led by Russia did not give Nigeria and Libya specific figures to cap their oil production when the decision to extend supply cuts was taken on Thursday in Vienna. Kachuku explained that Nigeria and Libya, which had enjoyed exemptions from the cap, were technically allowed to maintain their status quo. However, with pledges, they would watch the volumes of oil they will bring to the market in 2018 so as not to disrupt the market's rebalancing efforts. Zakabala is, of course, a petroleum engineer and a chartered accountant. He joined me on State of the Nation at this time to look at this broadly. I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on the show at this time. Now, the exemption of Nigeria and Libya was pegged to expire sometimes in March 2018, we believe.
Correct.
What is the interpretation of the action of the oil cartel, OPEC?
Well, what OPEC is just trying to let Nigeria understand is this. Before now, I mean, there has been a concession because Nigeria and Libya have been experiencing business climate hostilities within their respective countries. And because of that, they have suffered what we call disruptions. And OPEC, as the cartel, felt there was a need to support Nigeria and Libya so that they could still be able to meet up with their internal economic and financial needs. But it has gotten to a point where they felt enough sacrifice has been made and there is a need for Nigeria and Libya to also look inwards and see what they can do to their respective countries.
Well, some people believe that this is largely not a good thing for Nigeria, but do you think that's the case?
No, I don't believe so, you know. We need to look at the total interest of the entire cartel. Apart from the 14-member country cartel now, you're also talking about Russia that is leading about 10 other or 9 other countries that are non-OPEC members but have interest in trying to make sure they work together with what? With OPEC, to make sure they look at the prices. What they are just talking about is this. The prices should be so attractive to the point where OPEC members and the 10 non-OPEC members, but friends of OPEC, will make marginal profits and enjoy. But the prices should not spike and go up so much to the point where countries that have what we call heavy crude or shale oil or low mobility crude will not start seeing the positivity of coming and glutting the global oil market. Because if they allow that one and the price goes up, then those countries will come up and glut the market. And the price may even crash to probably less than $30 per barrel, which is risky.
But in considering a situation whereby crude production levels are being cut by, say, they're about 700,000 barrels per day, that definitely will hurt the economy in 2018, considering
Correct.
that this throws up that question of the options that are available for Nigeria and indeed perhaps Libya as well. What options do you think will make up for the shortfall?
Well, first of all, there will be practical implications, because before now we were expecting from oil revenues alone, we were almost expecting about 2-point-something trillion, right? But with what has just happened now, what that has clearly shown is that we are going to lose almost...
That's in financing the budget.
Yes, we are going to lose almost 600 billion naira. That loss on its own is going to add to the deficit. But apart from adding to the deficit, when you look at the expenditure side, that alone will have taken care of the statutory transfers and also probably what we call the sinking funds. So what that practically now means is this. Apart from the 2 trillion deficit, we are likely to have an additional deficit of close to 600 billion naira. That will definitely hit Nigeria hard. But all Nigeria needs to do now is to look inwards. We need to internally domesticate. We need to look at internal, not foreign direct investment, but local direct investment, which is possible. Nigeria just need to be physically disciplined, we need to be monetarily disciplined, we need to also be financially disciplined and morally disciplined. But when you look at the non-oil revenues that we were planning, you know, we're expecting about 4 point something.
And then looking at the tax
option
as well.
The tax option now is where we need to look at, because the tax option is almost like 1.33 trillion. So from that tax option, this is where helping the economy is going to be very important. What kind of tax are you talking about? Because if you are talking about import duties alone, you are still relying on the oil and gas industry. And if you cut down on drilling campaigns, you won't generate revenues from there. So we internally need to do something about company income tax. If the companies are doing well, if there is electricity generation, right, if there is tax holidays, then from company income tax, we will generate so much.